Hi and welcome to another Cove Legal video log. We're talking defamation again this week, a subject close to our hearts, and a big week for defamation law. So we've had the decision in the matter of Mr. Voller come out of the New South Wales courts. That is about content which appeared on major social media websites and Facebook pages run by some quite big players: Sydney Morning Herald, the Australian, News Corp sites, Sky News, and the content was then commented on by members of the public who, as users, went onto the social media sites and made their own allegations about Mr. Voller. And the whole case is about whether the social media sites can be held liable for the content of the comments added to their sites by members of the general public. And the New South Wales court this week determined that yes, they could, and that is I would say, quantum shift in Australian defamation law, or at least it will be unless and until it's potentially appealed, and that is quite possible. It would not surprise me if those particular defendants did appeal that, and quite possibly with sector industry support from the whole media playing field to actually seek to overturn that decision. Why is that a big development? It's because, generally speaking, for a long time now, large organisations that are providing forums for content to be posted onto have not been held liable for the content posted by others unless and until they receive a specific notification, usually from a lawyer, to say that the content is defamatory of another person. And at that point, if they then don't take any action, if they ignore that notification, then the courts have been willing to find them liable. Now, in this case, you had Justice Rothman in the New South Wales court differentiating between the social media giants and, for example, Google, which he said Google was just an index, whereas it was not a primary publisher, whereas these media organisations he held to be primary publishers to the extent that they facilitated this commentary. So a very interesting decision. Certainly has a dramatic potential impact on how online defamation is approached. It will, if it stays as a decision, if it doesn't get it successfully appealed, I can imagine it having an impact on the way that social media organisations monitor and police the content of what they post. And it also, interesting, follows on from some other quite interesting decisions only this year from the point of view of the damages. You've got Rebel Wilson coming in with her $4.5 million being brought down to $600K roughly on appeal. And then you've got the Jeffrey Rush case of $2.9 million. Now, Mr. Voller does not have a significant public persona. He doesn't have a brand that he makes money from like Rush and Wilson. So we're not expecting it to see those kind of $1 million damages. However, to your average person, to your average citizen, even if Mr. Voller gets a much smaller award from the courts at the end of this from these media organisations, that will still be a dramatic decision when you consider people considering defamation actions for how they are being commented on online, to the extent that those comments are being broadcast across the entire population by reason of these media organisations having their Facebook pages. So I could go into 100 other issues that arise from that, but we will keep an eye on the decision and keep you in touch with where the matter of Mr. Voller goes.